Well, I don't know. I mean, I figure I might as well have been meaning to do it for a few years. So, so okay, let's see. So, because you remember back, like, you knew your grandparents well, right?
Not the one that I'm named after. I didn't know her. She was picking cherries and she fell out of the tree and hurt herself. I guess she only lived a couple of days. There was no such thing as hospitals around. So, my cousin up in Michigan, she called me and wondered what my grandmother died from, if she died of cancer. I said, no. I said, she just fell out of the cherry tree. She was picking cherries.
Yeah. Well, the other side you knew then? The other grandparents?
My other grandparents, yeah, I knew the grandmother. And
what was her name?
Her name was Mary Frances. She lived to be quite old. I don't know what she died from. Just old age, I guess.
Oh. So she must have been born, whoa, if you figure 20 years, so maybe 1870s, 1880s?
I don't know. Why are you making me use my brain?
Well, I'm not sure.
What will I got?
Might as well, you know. I don't know these things. So, and everybody was on a farm.
Yeah. My father, he lived on a farm when he was a kid, young. Then he went to work in the pet milk factory.
At the what?
A pet milk.
Oh,
canned
oh,
milk
yeah.
was called pet milk. And he didn't like working in a factory. So he rented a farm and went out and did farming. I guess all the rest of his life, I guess.
So when he and your mom got married, they were on the farm already? Or was he in the...
No. They wouldn't... She was a teacher. She'd gone to what they call normal school. And she was a teacher, but they wouldn't let married teachers teach. And to be single. So, that ended that.
Yeah. So then you end up... So you grew up the entire time, some of it on the farm, or all of it on the farm. Were you born on the farm?
Yeah, yes. pains and knew the baby was coming, and I could look over to my grandmother's house. I look over there and see that my husband was still there. Finally, he got back home, and then right away, I guess they didn't have telephones, and right away he turned around and went back, and he got my grandma and my mother and brought her over for me to be born.
Wow. I guess that was a pretty good family experience then. A little different than now. And then, as far back as you can remember, was there like family members who were in I mean, do you remember anybody ever talking about the Civil War?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what did people talk about?
I don't know much about civil.
I mean, were there family members who may have been in it from way back?
I suppose. I don't know who it was.
Yeah. And so then the next, any other people in the military back as far as you remember?
Oh, yeah, my brother-in-law. He just now passed away a couple months ago. He was in Germany, and last week, well, they had lived in Arizona, and he passed away maybe a couple months ago, and he was cremated because all his family was out there in the state of Washington. And it's strange, you should ask me this. I think it was yesterday, his wife called me. She said, I wanted to hear your voice. And she had left the state of Washington and moved back to Arizona in a trailer they had lived in. And she said she was going to live there in that trailer as long as it lasted and as long as she lasted.
That's what's happening there. So that was his Uncle Jimmy. He was in World War II. I remember hearing a few stories about that. You said you had an uncle in World War I. Is that right? You had an uncle?
Jerry?
No, your uncle.
My uncle. Yeah,
Yeah. So he made it through all that. Where did he? Do you know where he was? Where did he serve?
I don't just know.
Yeah.
Would there been a SEIN sign? Would there been a sign? River?
Yeah, the same.
Germany?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's where he was. He didn't get hurt or anything. But,
At least not while in war.
yeah, but then he got back home, went to work in the stone quarry. That's when he got his leg crushed.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Just one of those things because I think back to like family and how long we've been around Ohio, and it's as far back as anyone can remember. But I don't know what all we've done here. It's I just know it's gone back a long way. So when it comes to where people are and what big historical things we've all gone through, it makes me kind of confused. Yeah, because you were born right around Depression time, so you got to go through all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess being on a farm was probably an okay place to be, I guess, if you had to go through it.
My father was real good at it with numbers, and he worked in a grocery store for a while, but he didn't like inside work. He liked being outside, so he ended up renting a farm for a while.
Yeah, so that's how you got through all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing your stories of being in high school, working your way through by getting through the doctor's office, working for the doctor who had you as the house help. Where was he located? Where was this? Was this in Delta?
In Delta.
Yeah. I don't know. That's some of that. And I've heard the stories, the World War II stories, some of those, and how, being in Toledo, how you got to go through all that, and the Jeep plant, and those sorts of things going through. But, I don't know. So some of the things I just hadn't heard of, the really far back stuff. Especially what your grandparents might have, the stories they might have told. At least your one grandmother.
My grandmother came from down by Columbus. That's where her people were. And let's see, she came up here, and it was, the woods were not cleared, it was just real woodsy. And I think she said her father, I think, had come beforehand, and I guess he chopped down trees as he went along, and he put up a house, and and her parents stayed with him for quite a while till they got a house built.
And then that was all in Delta?
Right around Delta, yeah.
Alright. Wow. Well, that gives me some ideas to what some of that early stuff was all about. And I remember you saying things like, oh, they're the nicest people, and, they were, just being really, really nice and good stuff. But that's about all I remember. But, yeah. Well, I guess that answers a few of my questions. How some of that stuff goes, but.
Wait a minute.
Alright.
I rode to high school in a car like that.
Really?
The Model T.
And my dad paid $1 a week for me to ride to high school in a car like that.
Did you get to sit in the back bounce seat thing or whatever it was?
I don't know where the seat was, but the buses didn't run for a couple of years. I rode nothing like that. And if I'd had some, they would have said, you're not going, there's no school bus, or you're not going, but he gave $1 a week for me to ride in one like that. And dollar was quite precious then.
Yeah, so that got you to school for, well, how old were you then? What grade was that?
Well, starting to high school, I don't know. How old?
I want you to know that I love you. No, God, this is important. You need to hear it. I do. He is a wonderful man.
Wow. So why did that end and you had to move into town?
I love you, Ellie. I do.
Well,
I love you.
So why did you have to move to do the thing with the doctor, going over there instead of just continuing to be in the Model T?
I was out picking apples with my mother, and this young man came out to the apple orchard, and he said, my mother is sick, and we wondered if you would come to answer phone, do a few things. I just dropped everything and went right there. It's crazy. And I would answer phone, do a few things. She was a stay there. And my parents would say, "Oh, come on home. You aren't getting paid on anything. Just come on home." But I knew they were hard up, so I just stayed. And I could usually go home on a weekend. And go back on Monday.
Well, how long did you do that? 2 years or 1 year?
I think just 1 year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I hadn't heard all that much about it. That's good. Yeah. Well, cool. That's good. I don't know. What do you think, Annie? Other questions? Family history? Wow. Okay. I don't know. That was probably more than I was thinking I'd do.